Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. I owe you an apology. I haven't been very active for the last week and a half or even more, I don't know. I got very busy with work and now I'm struggling with a very nasty cold, but I didn't really want to wait any longer with this video, so I thought that I would upload this even though I'm not really feeling on top of my game, both literally and figuratively speaking. And I need to sort of do an update about the last week's video because there was a bit of a hiccup there that I would rather not like to have there left incorrect. So let's talk about our last video, my last video, a little bit. I showed you an endgame there because this pawn up tactics caught my fancy. As in not tactics, but the concept of pushing the pawn up for no apparent reason, taking away the hiding square from the king. And I was more than delighted to find that example in one of the games on liches that I looked at, so I didn't really take the bother to thoroughly analyze it, and I just published a fair bit of nonsense actually about it, to be perfectly honest. So I actually owe a fairly huge facepalm to myself because yeah, this rook ending is actually dead draw, and it sparked a fair bit of debate on liches, and I actually would like to thank this lovely customer called Chesdo, guessing he's a GM 25 and more federated, who actually put me back in my place rather kindly here, or not so kindly, but once again, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So I was quite okay with that actually. So yeah, he basically explained all the nonsense that I was talking about here about this rook ending, and actually offered a couple of extra observations that I think were rather valuable. So if you are interested in the actual theory of this rook ending, I highly recommend you to check out his comment here, as well as here, as well as watch the video now, because the two together is going to be probably the closest of the truth as it gets. So number one, here I said that a2 was a total lemon, and whilst it doesn't really change the position, the assessment of the position, because it's a draw regardless of what the heck is happening, I still wanted to demonstrate the point that by doing that, black actually takes away the hiding spot. However, even after my proposed h5, which is actually not the best attempt to win, but no attempts would lead to anything anywhere close to a win, it's a dead draw. As per pointed out by Chesdor, king f4 is a very basic draw, and the king just comes in and causes a lot of trouble, and I can do that now because the pawn wasn't pushed up to a2. And even the somewhat better attempt with h6 leads nowhere. I just muck around a bit with the king, and when the black king is too far away, I just attack this pawn, and or I can even actually put the king a little bit closer. And when the king comes here, we attack the pawns on the other side, and it's going to turn out to be a very basic draw. Or if the pawn pushes up now, then yeah, we just keep everything as normal. We can even put the king back b here, and it's draw because the king doesn't have the hiding spot. So basically the position is a dead draw no matter what. And thanks a lot once again for Chesdo for rubbing my nose into my own rubbish and to point this out. As I said, I wanted to show you that a2 was a strategical error, and in some cases it does matter, but in most cases it actually doesn't. Now, on that note, I found two interesting endgames I wanted to show you, just so that this video is not ending too early and too boring. One of them was an Unsicker game that was also referred to in the Reddit thread further below. There are a couple of examples down here that are well worth checking out, and this one was one of them. So this is a unique scenario where the king is actually up in front of the pawns. So after the pawn goes up, I still don't have the checks. But actually this can be exploited, or this game seems to have shown that way, that it could be exploited by doing the following. Quite amazingly, white is just marching up the king and eventually is going to tuck it away on the most unlikely spot. Rook a3. Okay, so I will show you something and then I will get back to this position. So the king simply walked away to the far end of the board, which looks as ridiculous as it gets, for two reasons. A, because no one would think that this is possible to get around and then end up in here. without any consequences. I guess that not much black could have done in the meantime. But the other amazing thing is that it actually does win, because now I seem to get to give a check here, hitting this and winning that. And black gave up in a fair few moves. Please note that rook takes h4 loses to the beautiful simplification. Rook h5 forces and get the rook swap, and now the pawn goes in. Beautiful stuff. Now just for a second I wanted to stop here, because I don't understand why rook c8 is not played here. Isn't rook c8 like mate here? I think that this is an even easier win for white than what was played, for which reason check should have been given. But even then, after king e7, this plan couldn't have been stopped. Whoa, I'm pressing a lot of wrong buttons. But I think this is a beauty. Rook c8 here with mate, and if check, then we block it. If they take, it's mate. Oops, that is a very unexpected finish. And then on top of that, there is another one that I wanted to show you, a very famous game from Polugayevsky Parma. And actually my records show that the game ended here, but I have seen this position in endgame books, where the actual last position was something like this, which is a really clever move, because if the rook takes, then rook anywhere and queen. If the pawn takes, then rook here and rook check will win the rook, else I have a queen. And so black resigned, except that this is actually a dead draw, because even after h6 I can come here with the king, and white can't make progress. The pawns will have to come off and the king is in the safety zone. White can't win. So these were the rook endings that I wanted to mention to you guys. Once again, I got a little bit carried away, and I got back to put to my place promptly by a couple of these Redditors, but I'm rather happy about it, because I much rather have a video that is corrected and pointed out that I'm talking nonsense, because every now and then I do, than leaving it there and yeah, not knowing that it was actually incorrect. So I hope, guys, that you all learned something about these rook endings as a result of that video, the Reddit thread, and this video. And it's time, I suppose, to move on. I'm going to finish this video with thanking all the people supporting the channel. I have received a couple of amazing emails and Reddit comments. I haven't even had a chance to respond to all of them. I will probably show some of them on the next video. Our subscription level went up to almost 1200, and my last funky video, which, if you remember, still my tennis video, was as a reward of the 500. So I guess I should reward you guys again, hitting the magical 1000 subbers. I'm open to suggestions as to what you would like me to do for the 1000 subscription video. Comment below and we'll figure out something. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching, and once I recovered, or maybe even earlier, I will be back with more. Thanks, bye.